OffBeat Sports Podcast.
It's been a tale of two seasons for the Boston Celtics.
I probably aged about 10 years just from that series.
I'd probably compare myself to just a younger, smarter, more handsome, stronger Michael Jordan.
Let's go Celtics. Go Patriots.
These are guys who, when you give them a bowl of Cheerios in the morning, they finish every last drop of milk.
Absolute clown over here.
I'm ready when you are, baby.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast. Today we are back to talk some Boston Celtics, your future 2024 NBA champions. So let's get into it. We haven't been on here in a while to talk about this. So we're gonna start off with the. What do you want to start? Drew Holiday, Dame? That kind of
Do
stuff.
that one. Yep.
All right.
Drew Holiday, Dame.
All right, Harry. I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm happy, but also terrified.
Making you scared, bud?
Dame being on the Bucks.
Really?
You opened this up with 2024 NBA champions.
Hey, you got to be bold. You
gotta
gotta
be,
be
I
bold.
guess,
You gotta
right?
be confident.
I mean,
Right.
you got to be confident, but some levels of confidence can really do more damage than they can do good.
Here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at with that. Yes, Dame and Giannis sound scary. How are they going to be on the court? We've seen teams like that collapse. We've seen the Kyrie and KD and Harden experiences fall flat in their face. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we've seen it happen. Who knows? But also, will they complement each other? Probably. One's a 3 guy, one's an inside guy. Probably. But here's where I think they're going to struggle. With Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday covered, and this is an actual statistic. I don't have it in front of me, but it's around here. Drew Holiday covered Jason Tatum on at least 50% of possessions in playing against the Celtics. Giannis did not cover him. It was Drew Holiday and a couple other guys that would cover Tatum. I mean, now he's on our team. Who the hell is going to cover him? Is Giannis? I don't think Giannis can cover Tatum. I really don't. And I know Giannis is a really, really good defender. But Tatum is so versatile offensively. How is Giannis going to be able to keep up? Second, you also lose Drew Holiday to us. Therefore, now you have to go against him, who's probably in a vengeful state right now.
He always is. Drew Holiday.
And now you got a combination of Drew Holiday and Derek White covering Dame.
Derek White's so good.
So how good is Dame going to really be for you playing against the Celtics? So that's also where I'm at. But Aiden, I want to hear your thoughts, and then we can kind of get into a nice discord about this.
Yeah, so I just want to start off by saying Brad Stevens has done a phenomenal job of taking this roster with the same core, most of the same core anyway, that was a first-round exit a couple years ago, and taking them to now the odds-on favorite to win the NBA title. Everything that Danny Ainge wasn't in the final years. Think about how many trades we almost pulled off, but ultimately didn't, and Brad's making it happen now. So going off of that, I think it's a big win for the Celtics. Because if you think about it, we essentially swapped Rob out for Porzingis and Brogdon for Brogdon and Smart for Holiday. So I think especially people are making a big deal out of us not having enough big man depth, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I honestly don't think that would be too much of a problem. But as you were saying, Cross, I think that if there's one guy in the NBA that has a track record of being able to lock down Damian Lillard in a playoff series, it is Drew Holiday. He held him to 18 points and 30% from the field a few years ago in the Western Conference first round, Blazers and Pelicans. So Drew has that track record.
Okay, that's a way back stat. Eden's coming at us with the statistics. He did his research.
I did.
Harry, where's your research?
So
You didn't let me talk. You cut me off.
So Giroux knows how to cover Dame. And I mean, another thing to take note of, and it goes without saying, it's preseason, so take everything with a grain of salt. But I think there's going to be a learning curve for Dame playing in this new Bucks offense with Giannis. I mean, last game he played 20, 30 minutes, only came up with 5 points. First game only put 14 on bad efficiency. So again, it's preseason, so you got to wonder. Obviously, he's going to get more comfortable with the Bucks, but he did not come out looking sharp with them. Meanwhile, Holiday and Porzingis for us look like they fit right in. Our offense last night was borderline unstoppable, and JB didn't even have 20.
Dame's never been on a team where he's not
second
had or
option.
I'm just saying he's not touched the ball every possession. Like he's so used to just going and trying to score every time he touches the ball. Like now he can't do that. He's going to have to adjust. Again, he's a great player. He will adjust eventually, but
Going to take some
going to be able
time.
to be as effective.
I will just say this. If we exclude the Bucks from this conversation for just a little bit, right? Take away Dame, take away the fear of that, right? Look at our roster in a 7-game series. Who is beating that?
No one. Did we get
the depth?
Okay.
The
so
depth
everyone
we
keeps
have,
talking about our 1 through 6. Everyone keeps talking about our 1 through 6. If anyone has seen Pritchard play basketball in the last 6 months, this kid has been absolutely disgusting, and he is shooting lights out. Every time he shoots the ball, you assume it's going in. It's absurd, and he can play off ball. And what I really like in outside the shooting, his passing has significantly improved. He's tossing lobs. He tossed like 2 lobs to Porzingis last night, and he's been passing a bunch of lobs to that Queta guy and the Cornet guy, and they've been on the spot. But he's also been making other great passes and great looks to the kicking out, which has been his problem in past. When he's driven, he just goes up instead of looking to kick when he gets in trouble, and he's starting to put it all together. And I think you're going to look at our 1 through 7 now, but then you go, who's our 8th, and you look, and then you see Brissett. Brissett's having a great preseason. Okay, there's 1 through 8. Then you go 1 through 9. Hauser's been a little bit cold, but Hauser's not going to stay cold like that. And even if he does, that Svi Mihailuk guy has looked great as well. And if he ends up taking Hauser's minutes, then you're looking at 1 through 9. Okay, let's go to our 10th guy. Say that Queta guy, like if you want to go big man. Queta's looked really good. He's a 7-foot monster who's been putting down lobs left and right, getting good rebounds. Then you look at 1 through 10. Let's go to the 11th guy. You get Delano Banton, who has been fantastic this preseason. Okay, now you're like, who's going to beat this 1 through 11? You want to go to our 12th guy? Lamar Stevens, who was like the 7th man on Cleveland last year. Like, that's 12 quality NBA players, not to mention Cornet, who has stepped up. You want to go 1 through 13? We'll go to Cornet at 13. Like, this is absurd. This is absolutely
I love that I love that segment. I love that segment so much.
This is so freaking nuts. Like,
I think that might be one of my favorite offbeat moments right there. Just like, hey, look at this 10. Who's beating this 1 through 10? You want to go to 11? Who's 11?
Right? Like, but like seriously, like, who is gonna beat any one of those guys? And not to mention, like, Pritchard has upped his defense like crazy as well. So then you got defensive depth there. In even like Hauser's working his ass off. Brissett's a good defender. Stevens is a good defender. Cornet and Queta have both been pretty good. Banton's a pretty good defender. He's really long arms. And like, hold on. You want to go to 14? I got 14 for you as well. Jordan Walsh, the rookie. 1 through 14. Who's beating that? Right? Like
I want to say one thing.
It's absurd.
Since the Knicks, I have been a huge Taps guy. I love Taps. Taps has been my underrated. Like if I had to pick underrated,
Chris Taps. I was like, who the fuck is Taps?
Bro, Chris Taps Porzingis. What are you talking about? Taps the guy.
I hear Tingus Pingus so much that I didn't even register Taps.
Nah, Chris Taps. So NBA 2K17, I would pick the Jazz or I'd pick the Knicks. And if we were doing all-star team up, I'd pick center. I'd pick Taps every single time. People would be like, "Why are you picking Chris Taps right now?" Oh, you mean Chris Taps Porzingis? Yeah, you know why I'm picking Taps. I just don't think he's been given the light to shine. What is the position we rely on so often so often when our threes can't get anything moving, we always sent it down to either Big Al or we gave Blake a good chance, or we sent in, Big Rob, Time Lord, to go do some fun stuff down there. Now throw a guy who's damn near 7 foot, who can also step out to the corner and smack one in your mouth.
He's hitting step back threes right now,
bro.
it's nothing.
I love Kristaps, and I think with our team specifically, this is the moment he's been waiting for. And now, look at who's helping him. Look at all the pressure that's taken off of him. Look at all the people that people have to focus on. Because, every other team has been one other guy. You know what I mean? Maybe with Mavs, they had Spencer Dinwiddie a little bit to worry about. Then Kyrie came in. It's like, okay, now there's 2 other guys that they got to worry about.
He's always been the first or second option on every team.
Exactly. Now he's what, the 4th?
3rd or 4th. Yeah. He's going to have so many open looks. I mean, you can't, like the pick and pop game now. It's like, what are you going to do? You want to double JT?
And now Tatum's put on some muscle, so he's even more dangerous going to the hoop. So big men are going to have to sink in a little bit more, which leaves Porzingis wide open in the corner, and him and Al are just going to be knocking down trays in the corner like it's nothing.
And now back to the Bucks. Dame's going to be worried about who? Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. Giannis is
not going to be able to cover any one of them. Even Drew Holiday can go get a bucket for you.
Exactly.
Now you got 5 guys who at any point in the game can go get you. Actually, even Horford, any of the one of those guys can go get you a bucket anytime in the game. Actually, 7 guys. Pritchard can go get you a bucket whenever you want.
Giannis's first 2 thoughts are going straight to Jason Tatum and Al because he hates both of them.
Mm-hmm. And here's what I think.
So who's worried about Taps? Who's looking at Taps?
So here's what Taps. I can't focus with you saying
you
Taps.
always say Tingus Pingus?
Tingus Pingus, baby. So here's where I'm at. Everyone's talking about when Rob Williams was traded, everyone's like, well, no, who's going to cover Giannis? Who's going to cover Embiid? I'm like, first of all, Rob Williams didn't cover either of those guys ever.
No.
But that's one. Rob was a great defender, but he didn't cover either one of those guys. I think the biggest impact in any of the guys you lost this year, the biggest impact is losing Grant Williams. Grant Williams drove me up a wall with his complaining. He complained so much, but the guy could play defense against those big guys. He was so solid on his lower half that he could not easily, but he worked his ass off guarding those guys. And he gave Horford release and having to cover both of them. So I think you're really going to struggle covering them because you lost Grant. But also the rest of your team is so damn good defensively and that you could lock down literally everyone except those guys on those teams. And as long as you're making everybody else look stupid, those guys could go for 30 and 40 and you'll be fine. But I think the biggest impact player you lost this offseason is Grant Williams, and I don't even think it's close to me.
I agree completely. And I loved Robert Williams. I was super sad about it when he left. I still think he has a lot of room to grow and be somebody nasty for somebody. You know what I mean?
And he fell out of favor last year because he doesn't fit the new system. He's not a 3-point guy. He's an inside guy. He fit Udoka's system, but he doesn't fit Missoula, and there's no shame in that. It's not Missoula's fault. It's not Rob's fault. It's just he doesn't fit that. He doesn't fit that, and now you found somebody that does. And
I think Missoula's doing a great job too.
He
got flack.
So he got a lot of crap last year. So he got a lot of crap last year, and I never really straight up said it, but I was leaning towards Missoula kind of screwed us. Did you listen to the podcast Missoula did with JJ Redick? But if you didn't, go listen to it. It's a great podcast. But listen to OffBeat Sports first. But so Missoula was talking about how when he got thrown into the position in training camp, into the head coach position, and this makes a lot of sense to me. After listening to this, I was kind of like, He's like, I wasn't able to implement anything I wanted, because it was just there wasn't enough time to develop a scheme and implement it in training camp. And you can implement an offense pretty quickly. It's not that hard. So implementing his 3-point system is not that hard, but he wasn't able to implement any kind of defensive schemes because that takes so much time. And in the midst of a season, you can't really do that. It's not like a
play with what the guys know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So now you got him with a full training camp to be able to implement what he wants with the guys he wants. Also, with that, now you got him 2 top assistants in Sam Cassell, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name, but Cassell was the top assistant for the Sixers. Now you got the top
guy in the box, right? The guy
the top Bucks
Guy in the
assistant.
chair.
It's
You got Ned
well,
from
you
Spider-Man.
added Phil Pressey. Fun fact, if you guys
Charles
remember
Lee?
Phil Pressey.
Charles Lee.
Yes,
I
Charles
asked.
Lee. Yes. So now you got your top 2 assistants are guys that were up for head coach jobs this year. So that's a ton of support. And then you got Emil Jefferson behind the bench, by the way, which I think is funny because he's like good friends with he played with Tatum and at Duke.
Yeah.
And
You got Kobe on
and they
Tatum's phone.
I was just gonna say like
as much as I
Holiday
hate
is
Van
already
Gundy, and as much as I hate Van Gundy, now you get him as a senior consultant. You got a legit staff now, and now you have they're gonna be legit, and Aiden, I'll you go for
no,
it.
definitely. I was just gonna say they already asked Giroux how well he was adjusting to the new Celtic system, and the first thing he brought up was that familiarity with Charles Lee, getting him acclimated to the new team and the new plays and everything. And I think that's going to be a very underrated advantage that we'll have going into a potential matchup with the Bucks in the playoffs. Is Lee knows their system. Albeit Dame wasn't there when he was coaching, but he knows the general way that they like to play, what Giannis is good at, what Giannis kind of struggles with. If there's one guy that knows it's probably him. So that could be a great tactical advantage for Missoula and the boys, should we get into a playoff matchup against them.
And I mean, even if anything ever goes like a little bit sour after a practice one day, I mean, Tatum can always just text Kobe before a game. You know what I mean? He's still got the number, and we've seen what he does.
Shut up. That's just
I don't think we gotta worry.
Can't
You know what I
say
mean?
that.
Kobe 24 is looking out for us right now. That's all I'm saying. 24 is
Shut up.
wearing green.
Oh my god! Shut up. Oh, that's horrible. No, but this team's legit, and
No, we have a
if
good
you
team.
got rid of I want to just look. If you got rid of Tatum and Brown from this team would probably still be a playoff team.
I mean, yeah.
Isn't that kind of
I
crazy?
mean, that's actually nuts because you're 100% right.
No, we definitely would be a playoff team in the East.
We'd be 3 seed in the West, dude. are you kidding me? We'd be the 3rd best team in the West.
But and I'm just so excited for the season because Pritchard's finally going to blossom into something. He's going to be a big piece for you this year. I think he's a 6th man of the year candidate if he can hit 3 or 4 threes a game.
Derek White's
going to start.
You over Jaylen Brown?
Horford's coming off the bench, dummy.
You think so?
Yes, 100%. Why would you?
I think that
let the old man rest. Why waste his?
That makes the most sense.
There's gonna be
Get
certain
old
games,
man out there.
There'll be certain games where Horford starts when we
No, yeah,
but
for sure.
it's gonna change all the time. But
which I mean, I expect it to.
Yeah, the one
your
thing
go-to
to keep
lineup is gonna be White on
if we're talking
the one thing
true 6-man, it's Peyton Pritchard.
The one thing to
Pritchard's
keep
never gonna start.
your eye on definitely is the closing lineup. I think that they want to have Al out there for playing against a dominant big like Embiid or Giannis. They're definitely going to want him out there at the end of the game.
Against those teams, I think Horford will finish the games. But against
if we're playing small ball lineups,
I can't even think about.
If we're playing the Warriors, you're not going to want Al out there at the end.
Yeah,
of the game.
if we're playing small ball lineups like the Warriors, you can throw the Heat in that question. Even
the Bucks, to be honest with you, I think so Tatum's putting on quite a bit of muscle. I don't know if you've seen him. His shoulders.
No, Tatum's big.
Broad.
Tatum's big.
He's looking solid. He might be able to cover Giannis.
Can anybody truly cover Giannis though?
As much as one can, he can cover.
Yeah.
Giannis.
Okay. Right.
Well, because that's where
because you've seen big men. I mean, what do coaches think when they see Giannis? Throw a big man on him. What happens? They get freaking dusted. And Giannis just gets an open lane. I mean,
but again, if you're locking up everyone else, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, Tatum's quick, and I mean, if we just even then, we don't have realistically, and I know this is me being maybe a little bit too optimistic or a little bit too bold. We don't have to worry about literally any team. I say
Yeah,
that with
there-
confidence. We
there's not a
don't
team
have
that
to
I'm
worry
worried
about
about.
anybody. There's not one team in my mind in this entire organization that beats us in a 7 game. There's nobody. I think we have the best.
Do you think
record
they
in
go
the
for
East next
the
year.
regular season record?
That's what I just said. I think we have the best record in the East next year.
No,
I think
do you
we. I
think
think.
no? Do you think they go for the record? NBA like beat the Warriors
What,
73-9.
73 wins?
Oh God, no, God.
Nah, there's too
God,
much
no.
competition in the
No, you
East
throw
for
the
that,
20.
but
I still think that team. If we're taking all time teams, that team crushes us in the 7.
Oh
Are
no,
you kidding me?
saying
well, I
I'm saying-
think
no. I'm
I
saying
think
do you think
that
they beat
if
the record?
I don't.
no,
think we do
I
that.
don't think we get up to 73, but if we stay healthy, KP plays more than 60 games.
We're
I don't
knocking
think
65.
I don't think mid 60s is out of the question if all
That's
of our
what I'm
guys
saying.
are healthy.
All right. Oh, this is a good way to end it, right? Win-loss predictions. Win-loss predictions. Just throw a win. Just throw a number of wins out there.
They play 82 games.
How many?
Back.
82
68
games. How
and
many?
14.
I'm gonna go 65-17.
Aiden, I was going to say 65-17 as well.
Hey,
like people are
I'm a
going to watch this
resident
and be like,
green
yo,
teamer. I got to be higher than you guys.
Aiden, people are going to watch this and be like, yo, you people are crazy thinking over 60s just guaranteed.
Yeah, and then in April they're gonna see we were there all along.
Not
All
even,
along.
dude. Not even December. They're gonna be like, all right, these guys might have been onto something.
Well,
We're gonna be
in
what?
December
We're
when
gonna
we
be
already
what?
hit 60 wins, we're 60-0. Then everyone's just gonna be.
That's what. Yeah, that's we're
Actually,
gonna be.
you don't
we're
even
gonna
play
be
60
what?
games by then, but still,
No, you play like maybe 38.
we're 40-0 when we're 40-0.
Yeah, we'll be like 36-1 by the time December ends, and people are gonna be like,
guys, we're gonna have an 82-0 season. You heard it here first.
Right here first. Offbeat Sports.
Do you know why? Do you know why, Harry?
What?
Look at our 1 through
Tabs.
6. Best 1 through 6 in
Tabs.
the league. No, look at our 1 through 6. Best 1 through the 6 in the league. You want to go 7? We'll go 7. Look at Pritchard. 1 through 7. Best 1 through 7. You want to go 8? We'll go 8. Fine. O'Shea Brissett, right?
We did this bit. We
We'll
did
go
this
1 through
bit.
9. I'm telling you right now, this team is disgustingly good, and if they don't win the championship, I will cry.
Hey, Boston fans, New England fans, don't worry. Don't worry. You're upset right now. We all are. We're all hurting right now.
Do you think there's any like West team that could even come close to this team?
No.
Oh, they don't start till the 25th. They start in a week. My bad. I thought it was the 21st.
One more week. Hey, one more week. One more terrible Patriots game, and we're right back at you with the best American sport in the world. Championship number 18, baby. Number 18.
All right. Well, thank you, boys, for joining me. This was a pleasure. And
get the duck boats ready.
Yes, Celtics are on their way.
Let's go Celtics.
25 champions.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Check out our socials at @offbeat_sports on Instagram and at @offbeat sports on TikTok. We'll see you next time on Offbeat Sports.
Call them all Texans.